We're here at CES 2023, and this year Lenovo is bringing weird. Like, how weird? Oh, well, this is just like a normal laptop with an OLED display. It's fantastic. Looks great, right? Do. What? On one side, they have a very normal OLED display. This is actually just a fantastic display to look at if it works. Oh, there we go. Okay, geez, that was scary.
Build Redux. Build Redux makes it easy to configure your new build with support guides to help along the way. They also offer competitive pricing as compared to building a PC yourself. Head to buildredux.com/Linus and start your new build today.
But the big problem with OLED displays is the amount of battery that they consume. It's so bad that I just don't even want an OLED display on my laptop because, well, even though it looks fantastic, your battery dies almost instantly. Well, instead, if you just want to do like Word documents, reading things, or so on, you can flip over to this e-ink display. Now, it's not the best looking display I've ever seen. It runs at a rapid 12 hertz. Yeah, that's 1.2, not like 120, but that's actually very fast for an e-ink display. And also, okay, it is pretty funny. That's you are not going to be playing CSGO on this thing, but for an e-ink display, this is so cool. Also, as you've probably noticed, it's color. E-ink displays are almost always only black and white, but they've somehow managed to make this a color display, so you can just go through your emails, read something. I actually like it. One thing that's interesting is you can see the whole thing refresh itself, so I just kind of do this for a little while. There's going to be mouse trails over everything. That flash there, though, resets the e-ink display so that you don't have mouse trails over everything. This is very cool. If you're not using the e-ink, this is a very standard but very high-end laptop. So the OLED panel is 2880 by 1800, so that's 16 by 10. This thing's 100% DCI-P3 and color calibrated from the factory. And also, for processor, you get an i7-1365U. Now that's only 2 performance cores and 8 efficiency, but at the same time, it's this big and has 10 cores in it. Pretty hard to complain about that. What I will complain about though is the I/O. You get a Thunderbolt and a Thunderbolt, and in fairness to them, you also get a headphone jack. Dell, what the f? They did it on this. They have an e-ink display and they still managed to fit a headphone jack on there. Fix your 13, come on. There are several ways to use this, mostly, you know, like this, but then you can also just fold it down, and it's basically just a book. Hello? Hello, there we go. It is super cool that you can just use it like this, like a book, and e-ink is fantastic for eye strain. This is the sort of thing where you could actually read a novel and not just have a searing headache at the end like you would on a normal laptop. But the weirdness is not over. Oh, not even close. Up next is the Thinkpad 16P Gen 4, and this has much more weirdness. Now here we have an IR full HD camera that honestly is pretty good. But if you look on the back here, there's a bunch of pogo pins, which means, oh yeah, there's a 4K webcam. We can just attach it right here like that. There we go. And it just works. It's not quite tuned yet. The software isn't quite there. So if you look, Andy, which one of these do you think's the 4K one?
I'm pretty sure that one.
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked a cameraman.
Yeah.
This one is clearly a lot sharper, but the ISO is terrible. The way that they expose is not done yet at all. Everything here, it looks interesting to say the least. Now I'm sure what you're thinking right now is, if it's struggling for exposure, that means we just need a little bit more light. And earlier today in Acer's booth, we actually saw a combo, pogo pin on-off webcam light combo, but Lenovo, instead you can get a second 16p attach. It's a separate attachment, so we can go like this. Now, by very simply having 2 laptops at the same time, you can have a light and a webcam simultaneously. Or you could just use the light and the full HD webcam, that's also pretty good. In addition, they also have a 4G connectivity adapter thing. On my laptop, you have 5G and it goes in right here. But instead, anyway, up next on our tour of interesting products that I'm not totally sure why it's here, we have the X1 Fold 16. So it, as I'm sure you have guessed by the name, it folds. And it folds way better than the last one too. Apparently, this is rated for 25,000 folds, before you will see any problems. And they've also fixed the problem where in the past, you stored the keyboard inside of the fold because they couldn't get it to go quite all the way. Now, there's a couple problems with that. The biggest is that you get dirt and grime all over your keyboard, which then you put in the middle, gets on your display, scratches that up, damages everything. Bad time. Now instead, it just folds all the way like this to create a really nice, convenient, and quite small package for something that has a 16-inch display. Then you can just take the keyboard and slap it on like that, and you have the whole thing just ready to go. It's actually pretty cool. Now there's many different ways that you can use the X1 Fold. So you can have it in landscape mode like so, or you can flip her over, use it in portrait mode, or you can place it onto the table, use it like this, touch right there, get your keyboard, or if you don't like that keyboard, you can attach this one, and boom, now you have a 12-inch laptop. Given what it is, this keyboard is all right, but it is kind of hard to use and a little bit small. Now there were quite a few sacrifices to get this to fold. So the I/O is pretty bad. There's a Thunderbolt there and another Thunderbolt right there. That's it. I know what you're thinking though. I don't want a screen that folds. That's just way too anxiety inducing, even if they say that it's going to last for 25,000 cycles. What I want is 2 displays. Yes, the weird train keeps on going. Look at this. This is the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i. And we have 2 OLED displays. Look at that. Now, through the magic of origami, we can take the little folio for the keyboard, move it like this, and we have an absolute battle station on the go. Look at this thing. I actually kind of love it. So you can use it either like this with 2 displays, or if you take 5 fingers and go, brr. Now it's one very large display. The way that it interacts is actually really well thought through. My favorite thing is probably, let's say we want to look at the Gaming Laptop Awards up here. I want to send that as a note. Now I can circle that, insert in note, and now I have that just in my notes, what I just circled right there. I could see this being so useful for so many people. I actually really appreciate that. It's like snipping tool on steroids, and snipping tool is my absolute favorite thing. Maybe instead though, you don't want it in battle station mode. You can have it in dual portrait mode. I don't know, you can very easily have, let's say, your notes over here and your script on this side. You can type it all out, and sure, you don't have a trackpad, but you have 2 screens. But maybe you do want a trackpad. Well, we can take it, move it like this, take the keyboard off there, and put it right on top like that. And now this screen's a trackpad. It actually all works shockingly well. Like, it's all tuned in a way that I wasn't expecting it to be that like final production ready. I guess this is final production, right? It is final production, but normally these things feel like engineering lab stuff. This one actually works really well. You know, of all the really weird stuff that we saw today, this one's actually kind of interesting. Wait, no, there's a fatal flaw. Fatal flaw. I/O, we have 2 Thunderbolt 4s on this side, Thunderbolt 4 on that side, but guess what? There isn't. No headphone jack. I thought you did a good job. What are you, Dell? So let's talk about the X1 Carbon for a second. Not a whole lot has changed, but that's kind of a good thing because this is just a fantastic laptop. You get actual I/O, so HDMI, full-size Type A, Thunderbolt, and another Thunderbolt right behind it. And around on the other side, we have another Type A and a headphone jack. Thank you for keeping that, Lenovo. For this latest generation, Lenovo have upped the TDP of the X1 Carbon by heaps. It has gone from 20 all the way to 21. But in all seriousness though, this is an excellent laptop. It's 2.5 pounds. It feels awesome. I'm sure that this keyboard is excellent. Yeah, easy A+, absolutely love it. Is it touch? It's not touch, that's too bad. As expected, this chassis is incredibly well built. It is 100% magnesium, and 90% of that magnesium is all recycled. Also, you don't have to feel bad about getting a laptop because it comes in this bamboo and sugarcane package. This right here, you can just huck her in your garden, she's gonna biodegrade. Excellent, thank you. Also, if you want a laptop that folds in a way that makes sense, we have the X1 Carbon Yoga. Again, not much has changed, but they really didn't need to because it's a fantastic laptop. In all seriousness though, Lenovo, thank you for not screwing up the X1. I feel like the motto over there might be just If it's not broke, go do weird somewhere else. Good job. Speaking of not breaking things that work really well, Lenovo's Legion laptops. Here we have the 7i, and this right here gets basically just a spec bump, but it's a pretty serious one at that. In here they have crammed an RTX 4090 with a 170 watt TGP. Also, we get the Intel Core i9 13900HX, and the RAM in this is the fastest I have seen in a laptop that you can remove. This, when overclocked, gets 6,000 mega transfers per second on that DDR5. How the heck did they do that? JEDEC doesn't want you going that fast, but they managed to do it. Aside from that, you get a 99 watt hour battery that will probably last you 1.5 hours. They said it's 8, but that's optimistic to say the least. Also, there's the Legion 5i, which gets a slightly smaller battery and not quite the same TDP, but at least it only starts at $1,449 instead of the $2,000 for the 7i. One very important thing though, this is apparently, and I quote, the world's most powerful AI-tuned gaming laptop. Lenovo was very proud of the AI stuff that they put in here, as if Gigabyte hasn't been doing it for, what, 3-4 years, something like that. Maybe theirs works better, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. We'll need to get this in the lab to do a test.
Zoho One. If you run a business, you know how hard it is to keep everything organized, but Zoho One is designed to help run your entire business through a single unified platform. You can replace your patchwork of cloud applications, legacy tools, and paper-based processes with one operating system. Zoho One allows your team to collect leads in one place, close deals quicker, create more quotes and invoices, sign contracts digitally, and track every key metric along the way. And when you're out of the office, you can use their mobile apps to work on the go. Whether it's sales, marketing, finance, analytics, or support, Zoho One has got you covered. Sign up for Zoho One today using the link below and get a free 30-day trial with no credit card required.
Well, I hope you guys like this strange tour of Lenovo's strange products. If you want to see more strange things, hit like, get subscribed. There's going to be lots more. And lots more AI, I'm sure. See ya.